needs is question and answer Wednesday, baby! That's what I get to drive into my school every day. It's pretty sweet, right? Okay, let me get set up and we'll start this question and answer Wednesday the right way. All right, I like that. Now we're back in my element, so I think this is gonna be much, much better other than the car sequence. So 11:30 is my cutoff. I gotta get all this done by then. I think it's doable. I definitely think it's doable. So there's no housekeeping. Well, is there housekeeping items today? Anything I wanted to tell? Okay, so I'll tell you one housekeeping item. I always do go through, even if I don't comment or hit the heart or like button on people's comments, I do go through and read all comments. Thank you for adding all the comments to all my videos. Majority of the time, they're all positive. We get one or two whack jobs, or one or two thumbs down guys, so we just gotta get rid of them. But I will say thank you. When I do go through, I'll see a comment sometimes, and I sit and ponder this comment. I just can't, I don't understand what it means. I'm like, what does this even, it's like off the wall. But there's all these comments and replies below feeding into it. So I'm like, what does this mean? I get off. Well, here it's like a joke I came up with, but I'm like not part of the joke because I forgot about saying it during question and answer, and people are then like talking about it. So I do a video like the recent Canoe video. People are making comments and it has to do with question and answer, but it relates to the Canoe video, and I'm just like clueless, like. So that is awesome. So that just means that you people are just, I'm just hanging on every word, getting sucked in. I love it. I do. That really wasn't even housekeeping. That was probably a story that just wasted 15 seconds of everybody's life. You're never gonna get that back. Look at this chaos. We'll start. Let's start. All right. Sometimes you'll see me glare up to this side is because I'm looking if the record button's on. You shot video long enough, you don't hit that record button, you go through a nice long sequence, especially something like this, you don't have any of it. Start over. That's the worst. Golden Dan Womack. First of all, it's Womack, not Womack, but that's okay. You guys can't say compass either. What question do you want to be asked that you haven't been, and why? Oh yes, please answer. I don't think there is a specific question that I've never been asked that I'm just burning up, because I would have just said, hey, this is what I think about this. There's nothing. There's nothing that you guys haven't asked that is just burning me up inside to answer. So thank you for all the good questions and all the comical relief over the last 14 episodes. My question, have you ever tried Tony Ketcher's The Original Creole Seasoning? Oh yeah, my mom puts it on her homemade chicken fingers. I love it. I think it just adds that right to the chicken fingers. I don't know why I never carried it in the woods. I should, it's cheap. I'm gonna start carrying it. I'm carrying it this camp out, Memorial Weekend, it's gonna be with me. How about ketchup? What brand? Well, first of all, you realize that if you're putting ketchup on stuff, you're a communist. Just kidding, just kidding. I put ketchup on stuff all the time. I'm not like a ketchup connoisseur. It doesn't matter to me. My wife and I just had this conversation in the grocery store over this past weekend because I was like, here, get this ketchup. She's like, I don't like that. I said, it's ketchup. What? I don't understand. So zero, it doesn't matter to me at all. Ketchup, mustard, I just grab whatever's there. Like, I get sucked in by labeling and fancy packaging. I'll see it, I'm like, that has to be good. Look how good the label is. Ugh, once you try it. So I'm a sucker for that. What's your favorite Boileau recipe? If you're not from this local region, you won't know what that means. So Boileau is a mixed drink that we make specifically in the Coal region. I think it's just in the Coal region. And basically it's hard liquor with a whole bunch of different stuff mixed in, okay? We like to warm it up and then drink it that way. We can get bush drunk or city drunk, whatever way you want to look at it. I don't think that given the recipe right here is the best venue for it. What I think the best venue is another Cooking with Coalcracker episode where we make a batch of Boileau. My recipe is not top secret. I got the recipe, well, my father got the recipe from an older woman. We adjusted it, and I think that that's the key to it, is just dialing in the recipe to what you like. So we'll make that Boileau in an upcoming episode. Here's a question I want everybody to answer. Do you call it soda or pop? Since I say compass wrong, or you say compass wrong, okay? Soda or pop? We call it soda here. I know Western PA, you start to get into pop land. I just want to know when your next class is and if it's open to the neighbors in the Great White North. Got to go on coalcrackerbushcraft.com. and then click on our classes. Everything's listed there. We have classes throughout the entire summer coming up, so check them out. What do you think about the monster size ferro rods? Well, what I can say about the big ferro rods is this. The biggest rod that I have used has been what I sell online. So 6 inches long, 1/2 inch in diameter. I think that the 6-inch rods give you, if you're not gonna put a big handle on, which I don't, I just put some tape on, a good grip area and a nice long strike area. I've never needed anything more than that to start a fire. I could say I can probably go a little bit less, but from running classes and seeing individuals use that rod compared to smaller rods, that seems like it's the most ideal. Now the 1/2 inch is a fine size. I don't think you need to go any bigger. I know they make these rods that are like 1 inch in diameter, just massive. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think a 1/2 inch you need any bigger. I've had a rod that I used at demonstrations, that I've used at trade shows, just striking all the time for days upon days upon days. And it's still going. I mean, it's the size of a toothpick now, but it's still striking. So to use that consistently for 2 years, I don't think you need anything bigger, because in this type of setting, even if you're scraping the crap out of that thing to get a lot of shavings, to light the shavings, you don't need more. Do your skinning knives come rusted? I knew somebody was gonna say it. When I pulled the knife out, I was like, a little bit of surface rust. It went through my head for a second to clean. Then I thought, you know what? Nope, these are used tools. They're tools that are used really hard, but they will come to you nice and shiny, oiled up, so there's not gonna be any rust on them. But if you want me to add rust, by all means, leave it in a comment when you place your order and we'll add rust to it for you. I'm gonna say it's close to 10 foot in length. It's 8 inches wide. So it's a big sash. I wrap it around twice and still have tails. If you don't know what we're talking about, go over to Townsend on YouTube. They have all 18th century type videos. I'm on there doing some survival stuff. You'll see the sash that I'm wearing. Very traditional. They said that the voyageurs, is that how you say it? Up in Canada, during the fur trade, used to wear them sashes really tight as support for their waist, because they had to carry so much weight always. I just like to add as much history into this as possible. It's like a teaching lesson. Speaking of t-shirts, is yours inside out? Yeah, I wear my t-shirts inside out sometimes. The reason why is because of just filming purposes. If I throw a shirt on and it has some big logo here that's gonna be obnoxious in the camera, I'll flip the shirt inside out because I think that it's not gonna distract people. That's really why I flip it inside out. That's it. There's really no other reason. So if you want that big logo just there, I guess I can do it. It has nothing to do with the outdoors though. That was like a car company. So I'm like, why is that gonna just be, it's weird. And it doesn't look right. So I just get rid of it, turn it inside out, but obviously it bothers everybody my shirt's inside out. How's that? That good? Feels good to me. If you never wore your shirt inside out on the flip side, so you wouldn't think that the little, seam here is anything, flip it inside out, it is like silky smooth, buttery against your skin. Come to Texas and we'll put your 70-degree too hot weather into perspective. Okay, I was in Texas when I was younger. I was in a swimming pool and I was still sweating. It is ridiculous, that heat. I understand there's sections of this country that get just brutal compared to here. Overall, how much I complain about the weather, I do love Pennsylvania because I love the seasonal changes. So although I'm not a fan personally of the humid, super hot weather, I like colder, cooler weather, I do like that we get that shift and we get away, because by the end of the winter, I'm like tapped. I need some warmth against my skin, and the warmth comes for 2-3 days, and I want that cooler weather back. But I do like that shift in seasons, especially bushcraft, and it's awesome to have that fluctuation throughout the year of different things to be able to do, different type of resources. I love that. So no, I will not be coming to Texas. Have you ever spent any time in the Northwest Mountains? Nope, unfortunately I haven't. That's one thing I do. I want to head up in that direction at some point in my life. Dan, why are you hammered drunk in every video you post? I don't know, I mean, it's just something cool to do. Video bush drunk is just the way to be. It's actually 8:30 in the morning and I'm loaded right now. Randolph Chapel, you are the winner of how many sustainable shelters do we have here? Now other people answered this right, but you were the first one. 5. So we have our debris shelter, wigwam, yurt, wall tent, classroom area. I consider all of them sustainable because they are, and it's my property. So if I already sent you a message, I'll be getting you out some gear. It'll be cool. How'd you get involved with Townsend's? Did they contact you? Did you travel them, vice versa? I got involved with Townsend because I was at a reenactment. I met their marketing and social media person. We hit it off. I followed them for a while. We talked back and forth for a while, and I said, what do you want to do? They said, let's do some videos. I said, okay. I traveled out to their location and we had an awesome time. Best part of that was there were people there filming. So I didn't have to worry about camera gear, I didn't have to worry about audio, and I didn't have to worry about editing. We put the mics on, just did our thing. It was almost like I was a movie star. I hope I can go back out and work with them again. I really had fun. Have you ever knocked your camera over when you did the little handheld thing at the end of the videos? Like when I go up like this, whoa. Just kidding, just kidding. I never hit the camera that hard. I'm actually about 2 inches away. It's just an editing technique. See how that works? So, yeah, just editing. Never knocked the camera over. I'm setting up a bushcraft class area on my farm for our dad's group. Is there anything that is essential things to have in it? So when I first looked at this, is there too much light right now? That's what you got. There you go. Look how much better that looks. Just a quick shift. You don't want the sun behind you. You want the sun in you. Light you up nice. So when I first looked at that, I had a different idea in my head of what was going on with this question, but now you're saying you're going to maybe have a class for your dad, a class area, not just like a camp area. Okay, so what I would say, if you're going to hold classes, it depends on what they're going to be using. First aid kit, super important. And you want to have some tourniquets in case people have really bad cuts, and hopefully you know how to use them if you're going to be running classes. So I know that doesn't sound like a cool bushcraft thing, but you need to have that stuff in place. I think if you have areas cleared out for work areas so people aren't battling brush and battling like nonsense, that's going to help just that much more. So just have it nice, open, cleaned up, have a nice central fire pit. Your camp will develop over time. When we start a camp, it's a fire pit, maybe a shelter or a lean-to, and then it just develops over time. As you make things, if you do tripods with the group, keep one of them up. If you make a sawbuck, keep it up, and it just develops over time. Will you do a bush fit series? I have thought about this. Dave Canterbury did that. I'm a huge proponent. I think your physical fitness level should be super high to do this stuff because it directly correlates. And I'll argue that point with anybody. It directly correlates. The more physically fit you are, the better you perform out here. Doesn't mean you're more intelligent, but you perform better out here because it's a very physical thing we do. So if you guys really want that, leave it in the comments below. I didn't know if people wanted that or not, so that's why I never got involved with it, but I'll definitely do it. Who doesn't even like your videos? They must be communist. Yeah, they must be. They must be. It's a two thumbs down people. What material is your canoe made out of? My canoe is fiberglass and it has like aluminum trim, aluminum parts inside. So it seems like it's gonna hold up pretty good. That way I can really beat it up bad. Can you do an episode on bush drinking? I guess I can. I mean, it wouldn't be fun. I don't ever sit and just get smashed. I like drinking beer. I usually pace myself pretty good over amount of time and just giggle a lot. I have a bunch of people coming in from out of town this weekend for Memorial Weekend. So should I vlog it? I can vlog it. That'll be a little bit of bush drinking. Do you enjoy the outdoor temperatures in the summer, or are you an AC hermit in the summer? Definitely not an AC hermit for how much I complain, and I just talked about this earlier in this video. I do like to change the seasons. If I'm home, of course, and I have the AC on, the AC's on, but I don't hide out in the AC. I mean, my office is this. I have an office, but this is really my office. The outdoors, I love it. Are you gonna trim that mustache so we can see your upper lip? That is the most bizarre thing ever. So like, that's what you wanna see? I don't know, sometimes I trim my mustache so you can see my lip. If you hate the heat, why don't you come to Alaska? If that's an invite, I'm coming to Alaska. Do you have any tips for dealing with ticks? No, I don't. I'm sorry about that. I know that there are some sprays, permethrin and stuff like that you can put on to help reduce the ticks getting on you. But at the end of the day, I think that if a tick's gonna get on you, the tick's gonna get on you. So I always tell individuals, and I do it myself if I'm out here, even for a day, I make sure I check myself really good. And if I'm camping out here, I check halfway through the day, and at the end of the day, if you had ticks on you before, it just seems like they go to the same place. So around my waistline, I always check like my belt line and things like that, and then I always check my armpit area because that's normally where they are. So 2 times a day, just check yourself if they're on you. They're normally not embedded that quickly. Pick them off and get them off you, and you should be okay. I had a lot of questions also about the yurt. So the yurt, where's it made, how big is it, can you get them, and this is all I can tell you. It was made by American Yurts out of Ohio. The individual who owned the company passed away last year. His children were going to take over the company. I talked to his daughter. His daughter said talk to her brother. I messaged the brother, didn't get back to me as of yet, so I'm not sure what's happening with the whole company itself. I hope they keep it going because it's a great quality product at a good reasonable price. So AmericanYurts.com, see if the site's up. It was down, so I don't know what else to say about that, but the yurt itself is awesome. It's a 13-foot in diameter yurt, very packable. I can fit everything on my side-by-side without even a cart behind. It would be me and the yurt supplies because there's a lot of wood and framing, but I mean, it is packable. If you have like an ATV or like a SUV or something, you can take that easily and set it up really quickly. So easy stuff for sure. So I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. There was not much craziness, and I'm sorry about that. We had to just bang out some questions. I even used some questions from another week that I didn't get to. So I'm trying to catch up on questions overall. I will get back to the craziness, I promise, within the next week or two, okay? So we'll shoot some vlog this weekend, get some more short videos up, and then until next weekend, question and answer, stay in the woods. I second that emotion also, that I'm very sad that this week's over, but you're gonna have to wait till next week. It's just over.